Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. So today I will be teaching you guys how to use Hifz Focus app, and I will be giving you the demonstration. So as a teacher, so we will see how a teacher can use Hifz Focus app to teach the students. So first of all, as you can see, this is the login page, and I will just enter a demo email ID and a password. You all can also log in by using Gmail account. So once this system has been logged in, here the teacher can see a brief dashboard for his or her students. Here the teacher will be able to see details of all the students and how many students the teacher is currently teaching. So over here a teacher can add a student by clicking on this button. So a teacher can add name of a student, the email ID, and by clicking on this add student button, a email will go to the student along with this initial password which he or she can use to log in, and then they can change the password afterwards. So over here now we will see how we can use the Hifz Focus app for studying. So we will start a session over here. So basically this is the main screen, the session screen, and the student name is Huda. So here we have three session types. One is a teacher can assign a new sabak to the student. Second is sabak revision. For example, if a student needs some kind of practice or there are some kind of recitation mistakes in the sabak, so that sabak will go in the sabak revision tab. And the third one is the door. Once the student is finished with uh, memorizing the sabak perfectly, then it will go in the door queue. So first we will see how we can add a new sabak. We will click over here. As you all can see, currently no new sabak has been set. So we will click on change sabak. Here we can select any surah. For example, let's select An-Nas, and you all can also select the ayah number, from which ayah number the student should start and to which ayah number a student should end. So let's select 1 to 5 and let's update the sabak. As you all can see, the sabak has been updated and I have selected Al-Fatiha. Okay. Here, this is our interactive Mushaf. So over here, a teacher can listen to the student's recitation and he or she can mark the errors that the student is making currently. So for example, if a teacher has given a new sabak to the student and the next day student comes and recites in front of the teacher, the teacher can just click on any of these two buttons, Jali or Khafi. These are the error types for major and minor mistakes. We will click on any one. So after clicking, we will enter into error mode. So over here, the teacher can either select a particular word where the student has made a mistake, like Alhamd, or a teacher can select an entire ayah where the student has made a mistake. Secondly, the teacher can also go in the details. So once the error is selected, it will come over here in marked errors tab. Then the teacher can click on the details and add extra information like what kind of mistake was it. Jali is a major mistake and Khafi is a minor mistake. So if it is a letter mistake, he can enter the error category. He can write any notes. And also the teacher can record his voice to tell the student how he or she can improve the mistakes so that they can get rid of those in their next recitation. Once everything is done, we can save it. Now we will be able to see that a note is added about the details and what category of mistake it was. We can do the same for Khafi as well. Just we need to scroll it too long or too short. Then we can save it, and over here also we can add additional audio note if required. We'll just save it once done. And if we want to come out of the error mode, we need to again click on the Khafi or Jali tab, and the coloration will go away. That will mean that we are in the normal mode. Once this new sabak is given, or a teacher has added an error and he or she has marked it and wants to complete the session, then he or she can just click on this button. And if the student needs more practice, if he has made any kind of mistakes or teacher has marked any errors, then he or she can click on this button so that this will get more emphasis. And if there are no errors, then the teacher can click on add to door, which will go in the normal door cycle, which we will see further, inshallah. So one more thing is that over here, a teacher can keep track of the time, how much time he or she has spent with the student. The teacher can pause it. Also, she can or he can reset it to 0 and resume it again. So now let me just click on needs more practice, as there are some errors. Once the button is clicked, it will automatically redirect you to the dashboard. Now let's see if the student has made some corrections. Now if we will start a session and click on sabak revision, then we will be able to see that previously the teacher had given Al-Fatiha verse 1 to 5 as a new sabak, and the student had made two mistakes over here which are marked. When the teacher will click on this sessions type, the new surah in the interactive mushaf, the entire surah, the entire sabak will come in front of the teacher along with the mistakes which he or she had marked previously. Here she can again listen to the student, and if the mistakes are not there, he or she can just get rid of the mistakes. In order to get rid of the mistakes, first the teacher needs to go in error mode. For that, she needs to either click on Jali or Khafi. So let's click on Jali and just click on the verse or the word again. This way the errors that were marked will go away. And let's come out of the error mode, and if there are no mistakes any further, then the teacher can complete and save the session. This time, since there were no errors, so the sabak will go in our door queue, which means the student has memorized the sabak properly. Again, it will redirect you to the dashboard automatically. Now let's see how the door queue looks like. So let's start the session again for Huda. Now, as you can see that the sabak has been removed from the sabak revision and has been added to the door queue. So this is the Doors Q section. Over here you can see that Al-Fatiha has been added to the door. So over here a teacher can also assign customized door to the student, like as per the juz. Let's select para 2 and add para. This way the entire para 2 will get divided, and it will automatically get added to the door queue along with the due date, so the student can keep track, and the teacher can also move the door queue up and down as per the liking if she wants a particular sabak to be reviewed or door first. Also, teacher can add customized door as per the surahs. Let's select Surah Hud and para and verse from verse 1 till verse 15 and add it to the door. Here we can see that Surah Hud has also been added to the door. Now, in order to see the Mushaf in the interactive Mushaf section, the teacher can just select on the door that he or she wants the student to recite. Once selected, that amount of verses for that surah will appear in the interactive Mushaf. Here, the teacher can listen to the student. If there are no mistakes, then, like before, the teacher can add it again to the door section. So a new due date will come and it will be added to the door section again. Or if there are some mistakes in door, then the teacher can just click on the word or the verse, and like before, they can add detail and save. And then if there are some mistakes in the door, then the teacher needs to click on this needs more practice button. By doing so, the sabak along with marked errors will get added in sabak revision section. Now let me show you all one more thing. Here, as you all can see, we have view details button. If we will click over here in view details button, here this tab will show a summarized and a very concise view, yet very informative about the entire performance and all the memorizations of the students. So when the student started his or her his journey, the current para that the student is memorizing, the current sabak. Here we can see the latest sabak as we have marked error and added this sabak in sabak revision, so we can see this. Then here we can see lessons for practice, which we have added just now. We can see the door queue. As you can see that we have removed Al-Fatiha from the door because there was one error, and added in lessons for practice needs more practice here. Now this portion over here, the revision settings, here a teacher can select and change the word count for each and every student as per the student's memorization capabilities. So if a student is good at memorizing and he or she can memorize more, then the teacher can increase the words per sabak. So 850 over here signifies that one sabak will consist of approximately 850 words for memorization in a Dor Sabak. So that will constitute to 92 days, in which if a student follows regularly, then he or she can complete the entire Quran Dor, not memorization but Dor. So the teacher can just slide it to change the word count accordingly and save and rebuild. Once saved and rebuilt, so Now whenever a door will get added, so it will be added as per the new word per lesson count. And over here, as you can see, the full Quran cycle has changed to 259 days, one lesson per day. If the teacher wants to clean the the door queue, she or he can rebuild it. So the door queue will be rebuilt, and over here there is no Surah Al-Baqarah or Surah Hud in door, but just the current sabak which needs more practice. Okay. Here the teacher can also keep track of student the batches that the student has earned, like flawless session, perseverance, or excellence, and many more. Here in this section, the teacher can have a very nice view about the most revisited verses or the most revised verses the student has revised up till now, and the least revised verses the student has revised. So by looking at this, the teacher can suggest the student to focus on a particular verse if he or she has not focused on it in a long time. Now, lastly, this is the session history. So, how many sessions a teacher has taken with a particular student. In this case, the student's name is Huda. So, the date along with the lessons, the type, if it is a door or if it is a practice, which means that the student had made some error and she needs more practice in it. The status, if she or he needs more practice or they have memorized it, the errors in in that particular sabak, and the duration for which the teacher has taught the student. So this is a very brief and a very concise view on how a teacher can use the Hifz Focus app. By clicking on this dashboard button, the teacher can again go to the dashboard, and if they want to just log out, so we can click on this log out button. So Jazakallah, thank you, Assalamu alaikum.